Well, hello, everybody. We're back. We're back with a little B stream action. It's not as early as it usually is, but we still got that B stream action. And oh, do I have a treat for you? The one and only Vince Hill joins me today on the B stream. Vince, this is a first, and I'm very excited.
Me too, man. Yeah, I mean, we've never casted together before, Scrawny. We actually had a conversation before going live, and we're like, hold on a second, have we forgot, or have we actually never commentated together? I'm pretty sure we haven't. So this is a first, and what a game, and what a tournament to kick things off here. Heroic versus Vitality could be a bang and could go the full distance.
Yeah, most absolutely could. Again, this is actually a DreamHack Masters Spring 2020 playoffs rematch. So we've already gotten this exact matchup in the playoff stage of a previous event just a month ago. And just to contextualize it for y'all, of course, Heroic, they picked up their map pick of Mirage. Team Vitality picked up their map pick of Dust 2. We have those same picks today in the series, but the decider map changes from Vertigo to Inferno. So that's what we have in store for you, folks. If Heroic can upset on Dust 2, then anything's in question because they absolutely dismantled ENCE on Mirage just yesterday to qualify for this best of three. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the action. Heroic to the CT side of Dust 2, and the Frenchmen, they've got a little bit of utility.
They most certainly do. Tessis with a couple of flashbangs and the kit for potential retake. And important to highlight that when Vitality did win last time, it wasn't the usual suspects. It was RPK that top frag with 29 kills. So can he rinse and repeat from that? ZywOo was just behind him with 28, as you normally expect. But it did take a big performance from RPK, a guy that the glue of Vitality. And they're looking to try and focus some attention and focus some fire over on the B site. Now, there's two defenders here. Starman's one of them, and Cadian the other. They're lining them up for a crossfire. In come the T's. Are they going to check all their angles? They do their due diligence. They're not going to start off with that, but they do get the kills down from none other than ZywOo. And the retake comes in the cards for the Danes.
Yeah, it might be one of those days. ZywOo, couple of headshots early. We've got Shock still back in tunnels, and he is not going to be pressured whatsoever. Heroic very much coming in from this middle retake. The two flashbangs for Tessis with the kit. So you can definitely see how this one could unfold, but will it? It's going to rely on Borup and Nico for some nice crisp headshots here. Double flash goes over, wasting no time to dump the utility. A little bit of time wasted to get some kills, but the CTs do connect too. And then they get sandwiched. Borup, he's actually down into the 1v1. It's the ZywOo pistol ace. That's what he needs, and he does it with the knife. Vince, explain this.
I don't know what to say. It's madness. The fact he even gets a knife is so good for his AWP fund as well. It looked like he get it with a pistol. I cannot believe what I've just seen, but you know what? The magician, the French magician just goes in again, man. And you said it. He goes in with the first two picks. You're thinking, okay, it's one of those days. He rounds it off with an ace. Hiroka probably sat there shaking, thinking, oh, not again.
Yeah. Yeah, they were hoping maybe they'd have to deal with RPK. I mean, RPK dropping 29 kills seems now like the least of their worries. You know, the possibility of Shocks coming in with big clutches still there as well for Vitality, but a ZywOo ace to begin the day. It feels good. Counter-Strike. It's a nice little 2019 throwback to where things were more normal. And, well, this one will still make sense on its own. Bomb's going to be moving through that B site, completely cleared out by Apex already. He wasted no time just sizing up that bomb site. And this is actually a nice collection of deagles and utility for Heroic. So at this point, just move it forward. You missed the you missed the chance. You missed that first frag. You didn't drop any weapons or anything along those likes. So just group up and hold off, because you know that some of these MAC-10s, with 3 of these MAC-10s in play, Vitality should be hunting.
Oh, they're going to be hunting for sure, at least posting up in sort of exit frag positions. But as you highlighted as well, Heroic, Deagle's armor, some grenades, there's plenty to use going into that next one. And Cadian even could maybe go in for another buy if he so chooses. He's up to 1300, but of course, or probably his priority at this stage. It is Dust 2 at the end of the day, but a really solid start for Vitality. Not a bad take out of it, though, for Heroic. I think all things considered, both teams will be relatively happy with this outcome, because now Heroic can maybe rinse and repeat and cause some serious pain to the French.
Yeah, just let this one slide, you know? It could have been worse for everybody involved, so we just let it add to the tally. That second round for Vitality, right after the pistol. Now, Cadian, you didn't get a chance to catch it, was playing lights out yesterday versus Ents. I think he was the only reason they had that 12-3 CT side on train. His opping was superb, to say the least. Yeah, okay, they did still throw that game and were unable to close after a 12-3 CT side, but just forget about that, because the point is, Cadian looked good on that op all day long, and when he switched over to Mirage in the decider of that BO3, he won the game for them. So I'm happy to see him saving up for his op. He's got a little bit of a trick up his sleeve here. The Zeus on mid doors. Burnt back by the Molly. So his investment not going to find its opening kill just yet.
Apex was close enough to have heard him scamper away and jump into position, so at least that's a bit of info that Vitality claimed for themselves, plus the standard smoke into middle affords them safe passage up on the boxes. It's going to be neutralizing all of the close-knit angles of Catwalk, and as you can see, Heroic going for that stack again, going for the gamble with the Deagles. And much of the same idea as the previous round. If things do go pear-shaped and Vitality decide to push on B, they can actually just save again. They've got full Kevlar, so it's not just the Deagles they're going to be looking to save. There's some nades in there as well. And it just really softens the blow economically of rebuying and replenishing those Kevlars. So it would make a lot of sense if Rogue just hold in position. The only player really that could maybe go aggressively here is Cadian with his Zeus. But apart from that, they're good to stay. Nico, though, has been found from Apex and put down, takes a dirt nap. And Vitality looking very good here, Scrawny, to take a 3-0. It's been pretty straightforward so far. Smooth sailing.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, man. I came into this best of 3. I'm like, shit, I got Vince on the mic with me. Oh, my God. ZywOo aces in the very first round. My blood's boiling at that point. And then we've had, like, the most boring Counter-Strike ever since. Just barely any kills here. We're just moving through, going through the motions. Borup, well, he maybe heard me. He's going to turn this one around with a nice little Deagle pop-off in the back of T-Spawn, but jumping MAC-10s make money. And that's still 3 SMGs for Vitality at the end of this. So not nearly as nice of a save. Only one set of Kevlar here for Tesses, but all the money and everything they could ask for now in play here for Heroic. So let's see if they can turn around and kick this one off. And I'm curious to see what happens with those 2 MAC-10s. It looks like they'll get shuffled around. Shocks, he takes one over Apex, probably to allow him the better chance at an entry. ZywOo's going to remain on that scout, and he still hasn't even died. So Vitality, they're going to straight up try to play this bonus versus the double op setup of Heroic.
Yeah, they've shifted those MAC-10s around for the 2 best spawns. So Mistua had the fast middle push with the MAC-10, and then Shocks was aggressively towards long, actually playing a little bit more passively, which I'm a bit surprised by, especially a player of his stature and his ability. Nico watching through middle, connects the op shot, but it's not going to outright kill Apex. Instead, tags him down to 46, and the double ops. As you highlighted before, Scrawny, this was what we were waiting for. This is the main course now. But a Heroic about to throw away all of this power. They need to get their hands on this map.
Yeah, they have nothing in terms of mid control. Cadian, he's very preoccupied with Cat. Off of the smokes, he decides to drop down into spawn. It's down. He's just trying to spam smoke from CT cross, and the B side completely crumbles. Just a catastrophe for Heroic's defense there. I mean, you could see the 2 CTs on the A site kind of scrambling to plug the very big issue of that mid smoke and the ability for the B split. I thought maybe the bomb site players would get something of a hold done, but nothing at all. And that was, of course, still with the MAC-10s, with the Galil. They could even move that forward. This may be the double bonus round, because with that double op investment, everything Heroic had was on the line in round 4.
But at least holds on to his M4 for a little bit longer, and he's the bodyguard of the AWP-wielding Cadian. This could go horribly wrong. They're charging down, and Cadian is going to be found. They can trade across to the AWP. This Dust 2 start does not get any better for Vitality. They are loving life right now. There's only 6 kills collectively for Heroic. 2 players yet to get off the mark. This is a collapse.
Yeah, that's a very rough start. So take a little quick tech pause by the looks of it from Stown. Seems like Cadian needs to fix his headset. So we'll give him a chance. We'll give him a chance. They'll need it, man. This is a scary Vitality. And in terms of the CS Summit, I mean, well, just let's say outside of this event's contextualization, just in general, Vitality are the better team. Vitality were just in the grand finals of the Blast Spring Finals, losing to Complexity in an awesome series. Like Vitality, you know, they've made far more waves than Heroic have in the last year. However, in this event, in Summit, I would argue that Heroic's actually proven themselves versus better opposition. If you look at the most recent games between these teams, you know, Heroic, they've got 2 BO3 victories over Ents and, you know, nearly took Nip, bringing them the distance in a BO3. Vitality, we've seen them versus North and Fate in their last 2. And yes, it was convincing victories both times. 2-0s, lopsided scores, like everything's par for the course, but they could have been maybe caught sleeping at the wheel by a step up in individual levels. Heroic are better than Fate. Heroic are better than North. And, well, so far today, Vitality are better than Heroic. But Nico, he's got himself a little opener. Just the Deagle. Very minimal investment here from Heroic, but Cadian will have that Scout, so all the damage could rack up. Everything counts. And we've seen Heroic burst onto the scoreboard out of nowhere with rounds like these before.
Yeah, my kind of concern with the whole, you know, Heroic have been playing pretty well in this tournament is an element that you touched on earlier, that it took Cadian having a lights-out performance to get them across the finish line. Now, if Cadian's not having that same level of performance here, especially as one of the guys that's obviously going to be opting with the AWP and having a lot of impact, I do fear the worst for Heroic. And in many aspects, this is a horrific start, not just overall for Heroic, but individually, economically for all, because it's going to constantly keep them on the back foot. They're not going to get many chances. It was only Tessis watching B alone up on the box, and Masuta's not going to miss out on that chance. And with the kill, the B site will follow. Whether they want to go in for this or not is yet to be seen, and that's going to be the answer to the question. And Storm gets his head taken clean off by a Shox, who gets traded out from Burrup. And RPK stands in position, dealing some fatal blows. Cadian last man standing. Vitality will have a 5th round come the end of this little skirmish, which will not be going the way of Cadian as anticipated. So, I mean, Vitality going from strength to strength.
All right, Vince, just going to put you on the spot. How many more rounds before Zywoo gets his first death?
Oof. See, now you've brought that up, Connor, I think it might be this round. I think the curse of the caster may come in, man. It's tried and tested. So let's see. All
right. Time will tell, huh? Well, it'll also tell when Stown and Tessas can get themselves on the scoreboard. They've got ample death, just no kills yet. It's got to come quickly for Heroic here. But they seem to very much want that double op setup. Reinvesting into it. Cadian posted on long doors. RPK's going to challenge, and he is killed by the blinded Cadian, who then decides to maybe play around the side of the smoke. There was definitely a sizing up for a moment, and it looks like Masuta's going to come up on top. Excellent flashbang by Zywoo. 3 flash assists, and you could see Heroic calculating their decisions. Cadian, he started to go around it, then doubled back, and then reaggressed right into the flash. They all ate it like a solar flare. Vitality blind the entirety of the CTs on long. Nico, sure, he'll get an op kill here, but Zywoo answers immediately, and this is a 6th for the T side.
This dominant start continues. It is really starting to go through the gears as well. On Heroic are being battered. There was nothing too intricate or too delicate about that play. It was just blunt force trauma to long. As you said, perfect flashbang tossed in from Zywoo, and it seems that I was wrong. He's not going to die in round 6. He moves a little bit longer. He is the immortal right now, and Tessis can do little but try and save his M4, but he's not able to accomplish that. Apex neutralizes him, and 6-0 start with Heroic likely into a half buy.
Yeah, that damning double op. Economic cost of it. Saved up twice for the attempt. And neither time shining through here for Heroic. So we're going to see them back on the Deagles. Now, in terms of Heroic and their Deagles, my eyes always fall on Nico. I don't know if it's in the name or if it's just in the Dane. But this guy, he can hit some headshots. So I'd be cautious if I was Vitality with the idea of rounding top mid, but for 2 reasons. Not only because Nico's down there by the double doors, Cadian, he's gotten aggressive. A little informational play here for Heroic, trying to catch them off guard. You know, I like this. You're not just standing on the same standard angles as your rifles. You do something a little ballsy and hope it pays off. Masuda inching closer as we have Vitality go take long.
Even though Cadian hasn't pushed, it's vital information, and this allows them to stack more players over on A in this gamble. So although Cadian hasn't got kills, he has still had impact in this round, and can Vitality navigate their way through the murky waters onto A site? It's going to be a rough ask still for Heroic to hold on to this with just Eagles, especially with how Vitality have kickstarted this map. But they do have a chance. Flashbang out is good for a trade, but it's actually going to favor Vitality. RPK and Shox nullifying Nico's kill. And now Tessis, Burrup, and Storm stuck on the site. With 45 seconds to go, Vitality could very well just decide to push back towards B, but because they don't have mid control, they're scared about a potential stack and walking into a trap. So they're just going to be pushing headstrong towards the site. ZywOo tossing mollies onto the top of the site alongside his teammates, and now the AK is ripping through the smoke, doing plenty of damage, leaving just Tessis alive. 1v4, not going to survive any longer. 7-0, ZywOo 9-0. What can Heroic possibly do here, Connor? They're being wrecked.
Yeah, they're being bullied. Oh, it's one of those painful moments where you almost want to look away, but you can't. You can't. It's entrancing. I need to know, how many more rounds can ZywOo go without dying? How many more rounds can some of these CTs go without fragging? And how many more times is this double op setup going to come into fruition for Heroic? They buy it up a third time. You know, they say third time's the charm. Well, I hope for Heroic that's true. Nico, he takes a little bit of grenade damage as he gets curious through the top of tunnels. But it's down here towards the double doors that we find Vitality yet again. Not the first time they've sized up the mid to B, and it wouldn't be the first time it succeeded either. RPK, he gets that tunnels kill, so much pressure falling onto the shoulders of TessS, and he cuts off the tunnel man first, but he's being hit by door and window and tunnel yet again. 2 versus 4 with Bora back down middle, and he's managed to frag versus Shocks. With the 3 Ts inside this bomb site, they're going to guarantee their bomb plant, and they should most certainly guarantee an 8th round.
Another unsuccessful round with a double AWP setup, and I love the play from Vitality, basically sending the sacrificial lamb through the tunnels while the rest of the T's pincer through middle and completely overwhelmed. I think it was Tessis that was on the B site alone there at the end.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, what can you do if you're Heroic? I would like to see a timeout at bare minimum here, Scrawny. Like, just try and figure out what the hell to do next. Come up with some ideas. Just calm things down, because right now, these rounds are going so quickly that before they know it, Heroic are going to be 10-0 down, 11-0 down, and at that point, maybe the map's already over.
Man, we really got, like, the real golden nugget of a situation here with ZywOo having no deaths and Heroic having no rounds. Is it the flawless game? Is it the 16-0? Ooh, those feelings, Vince, they start to boil. They start to bubble because there's a possibility. I've seen no signs of Vitality slowing down, let alone stopping. So maybe this is exactly what they needed. You called for the pause. They'll go ahead and take it. Cadian and Borup, of course, grandfathering that op and M4 forward. Question is, what can the other 3 afford to do here? We're going to get some sort of a curb purchase from Heroic. They've got their participation trophy in the form of 4 rounds of loss bonus. So money's not a problem. The income's great. It's the output that's the issue.
100%, yeah. I mean, they have all the tools. It's just the execution's not being there. And you look at the overall frags for Heroic, they've got 13 kills, and we're moving into round 9. To put that in perspective, ZywOo has 10 by himself. That's how brutal this is right now for Heroic. It's not even been close. I mean, you said they're not slowing down. Other than the pistol, which they only had the 1 player, ZywOo's clutch ace, the most players they've lost in 1 round is 2. That's it. None of these rounds have even been close, and there's another entry. After the timeout, it's going the same way again.
RPK waiting in tunnels. He just heard footsteps on the other side of doors, so that served as a bit of a warning sign, and he looks to very rapidly change position here, catching TessS off guard. But that MP9's got a good chance of killing RPK. 1 HP as he tries to run away. It's still the man advantage up for Vitality, but they seem to be shoehorning their way towards Long A, and eventually that bomb site, where Cadian has been posted up and patient. Double smokes and mollies reign over.
Good utility as well, but Cadian's going to be able to hold the line. One of the main men on Heroic, the Dane, has to make his valiant last stand. He has Nico to help him out, provide some crutches for him, but they've been taken down, effectively leaving Tessis, and ZywOo's actually died. The Immortal has been made to bleed. Tessis still, though, now needs to claim the other curse and lift that, and that's a round win, and Apex's Flames will say no. So even when they kill ZywOo, they still lose.
The witch is dead. The witch is dead, but the 16-0 isn't. 9-0 for Vitality. ZywOo, first casualty. And the CT's back in a sticky situation. You know, if they want those double ops, they can't afford to just go in with these half buys yet again. But again, we're just going to get the curb purchase. Oh, not the Deagles, but the CZs. That's fun. You know, I feel like the Deagles have been taken over. So, oh my god, he's right back at it. What is this witchcraft? He's gone ahead and gotten that mid pick. CT's going to get aggressive again, working with so little. They've got to do something. They've got to fight. They've got to show us a sign of life, but Vitality just ending the pulse round after round. Down. He's gotten his hands onto the AK despite being 26 HP, and unfortunately for him, he's chased by Apex. Good luck, Tessus. 1v4 on the Scout.
Does often seem like it's Tessus in these 1vx situations. I'm not sure if it's just by proxyism sort of rotating from B, but it turns out that the kill they got onto Zywoo was actually a decoy. It was a clone. The real man is still here, Scrawny, and he's still balling out of control in 12-1.
Makes sense, man. I was gonna say, surely he couldn't die, right? Zywoo. Bit of an animal. Again, I'm not clairvoyant. You know, I'm no fortune teller, but the moment he got that pistol round ace, I knew we were in for something special.
Yeah, he's definitely a player that if you give him a bit of confidence at the start of a game, he's absolutely going to take over. And I think it has like a double effect as well. It's like Heroic, oh no, here we go again. You know, Zywoo started off with an ace. He started off by just winning the round by himself. Please be gentle. Please be merciful, Lord Zywoo. And he's like, nah. The dictator just imposes his will. Heroic, though, decent trade in middle. Bit of damage to Apex and Zywoo, but nothing that's going to stick for a kill.
Tessa's tucked in. He's about to be mollied out. RPK calls him. Able to cross, however. RPK was getting the flash, and this is big. This is a run boost into 2 CTs up close. Masuda still able to best one. Zywoo, he tries to round that corner with a damn Tech 9, and Stowny's had enough. We have a man advantage ×2 for Heroic, and Shock's down for the count. Unless it's RPK with a 1 versus 3 at a 4K in the round, Heroic have broken through. Can he do it? Absolutely. Will he? Maybe. He's just gotten the first 2, but Stown will save it. Hooray for Heroic. They've lifted the witch's curse.
They have, Scrawny. It's going to feel good until they look at the rounds and they go, oh, we're still 10-1 behind. And RPK just wrecked our economy. Him standing and taking down everyone barring one means they're down to 2 MP9s. They're down to 2 M4s. Their economy's in the toilet again. They've got to strike more than once. It's got to be consecutive. Connecting of the dots, and Tess is tagged on the cross, not for the first time. Zywoo making his feelings known. Baruch, though, actually comes out second best in that trade. I was sure he was going to get the kill, but it's 1 for 1, and there's a second. Nico perforates the smoke, takes out Apex.
Tess fully blinded, going for the MP9 spray down. Tease, they find entry. Cadian, he finds his pick. Dropping a frag grenade and keeping that man advantage in hand for Heroic. He backs off a little bit. They've got good utility for the retake. I would hate to see Heroic force the issue and rush this.
Yeah, they have plenty of time. They have plenty of grenades, and they need to position themselves for a 2-pronged attack. If you just go one-dimensional, this will allow Vitality to shut you down. Masuta and Shocks in decent positions. Now the grenade's going to start to fire through. Incendiary, flashbang. Out goes Masuta. Finds Storm and takes him out of the equation. 2-on-2 now. Starting to favor the T's that little bit more as Masuta puts down more bullets in range of the heads. And here comes Shocks to clean it up. Vitality may have been stumbling, but they just swing for the fences and they KO Heroic again.
Yeah, very short-lived victory, huh? They were like in the first turn of the victory lap, and they blew out a tire, spun out, and Vitality come right back out of the pits to pass them. Double op setup here for Vitality. I mean, that one round, sure, okay. To us, the viewers, the entertainment factor, the 16-0 is gone. But in terms of the bloodbath that is this one-sided game, oh my goodness. It's almost like that's even worse. They win the one, as said, with only a single player left over. That 1vx clutch is the only thing that has put a round on the board for Heroic. And this half little curve by yet again is going to find no success. Not no success, literally no damage yet.
Yeah, so grim. And they kept peeking middle as well, Scrawny. So you feel like one of these scouts has to hit. But you peek into double ops with Shocks and Zywoo, best of luck to you. Like, the chance of you getting anything out of that is so slim. And Vitality, again, just stomping down on Heroic. Don't allow them to get up for any air. Finally, we at least have some damage, so that's the first step towards victory. But then, again, they slip over, they face plant, and Vitality take a 12th.
Vince. we've gotten to that very bleak point of the broadcast where the silver lining is Heroic doing damage in a 1 versus 4 at 11-1. But there's not much else to write home about. Heroic, they're going to get another one of these big buys. There's no reason to believe it's going to make much of a difference. They bought 2 snipers, T-side buys 3. And they're going to go for that mid-hold again. They dare them to try and take that gunfight. Apex, he's actually just chucked one out of the map. Screw it. He's going to swap over to that AK, head towards tunnels. Bombs just patiently sat outside long. That's the thing with Vitality as well. It's not like they're just hitting these incredible fast tempos either. It's just been a pretty calm half, and everything's just going perfectly for them.
Exactly. It's just trade, duels, everything they could have asked for is going for them. But here we go. Finally, Heroic, some aggression through on the tunnels. And Tessis will put down RPK. They can't quite grab onto his AK just yet, but Cadian now waiting, anticipating, and strikes. One of the best chances that Heroic have had to actually take a round, and maybe they can end in winning ways, but Shox, Apex, and Zai will have a few things to say about that.
12-3 best case scenario. Scary situation. Bomb decides to double it back. Cadian, he's keeping eyes top mid, so he could very well catch them on the cross, but ooh, he just loses vision on the lane. They are very much falling for this fake. It's one man on the bomb site. No absolute commitment just yet. Vitality, I feel like they could catch this retake attempt off guard from the backside. Cadian, what if they go up cap? But they won't, actually, in fact. Instead, heading towards Borup on long. They're going to flash their way through it, but Borup, nice. Just a little flick back. Shox, pressured close. Those snipers fall. 3 CTs with snipers now as Heroic take a second. So, a weird mid-round moment where the bombs cut off from the most promising push of a player inside of that A site. Cat was closed, doors was covered. Heroic, they went for the retake before they had to, before the bomb was even planted. And the positions they gained from that initiative, it all works out in the end.
Worked out for Heroic, but will a third round. A bit awkward as well. They had the 2 AWPers pushing long doors. Never ideal when there could be players up close around those angles where they eventually got fragged from. And Tessis just instantly gets destroyed off flashbangs. They're going to still push behind this on the blue pin. Is Borup trying to spray down with his M4, going to run out of ammunition and health. And it's Shox that pushes him out. 3 AWPs remain for Heroic. This is going to be very scary once those nades come down, the smokes and the Molotovs. It's going to be hard to see how Heroic can hold on.
He's found a little bit of safety here on Car. Bomb could leave. No commitment needed here. With the man advantage, they could just leave RPK inside of the pit. And as long as Cadian doesn't catch him, which he's about to, now things get sketchy. As you alluded to, the 3 snipers set up for Heroic. I hope for their sake that they're not all caught in the retake and can actually cut one off. But with Masuda just blocking off window and the door, Stown, he's going to get flashed into the site. In what world is that going to be his favor? A difficult position forced at a 13th round, most likely, for Vitality. Nico, he's going to try peeking in through the window. And he doesn't land the first shot. Cadian's going to be coming sprinting over. And Masuda is just beneath him like a troll underneath the bridge. He guards the entrance. And this is exactly that, Vince. The 13th, most certainly for Vitality. An ace for Zaiwu to begin in the pistol. And absolutely no sign of life from the CTs until the final 5 rounds of the half. And even in those final 5, they only managed 2. They had round loss bonus. They had double sniper setups. They had everything they absolutely needed, except the ability to frag over top of the stars of Vitality. RPK and Shox, 13 frags apiece. Zaiwu's got 14, and even Masuda and Apex with 11. This is a complete and total shutdown of Heroic because of the team's performance for Vitality. This isn't one of those classic Zaiwu one-man army shows. No, sir. This is just Vitality showing world-class Counter-Strike.
Absolutely agree with you. And it's a far cry from the last time that these 2 teams met each other. You know, we discussed it before. RPK 29 kills, Zaiwu 28. But then the drop-off is significant. Shox 13, Misuta 10, Apex 10. As you said, everyone's over double digits. Heroic have yet to get one player to that landmark. to that goal. Borup is the closest with 9. Everybody is negative kill to death. There is nobody that you look across to on Heroic right now and you say, okay, that's the player that's performing well. That's the player that's going to dig them out of this ditch and they're going to make a comeback. And it's even more scary than that, Scrawny. This has been so one-sided and so incredibly efficient from Vitality that in my mind, I thought, okay, the map that might be going the way of Heroic is maybe, Mirage. Well, now I'm not so sure anymore. Now, I don't know. Like, if this performance continues, they're just going to get blown out again.
Yeah. I have to give some points to Heroic for mental resilience, because yesterday versus Ents, we had Heroic with a 12-3 CT side, and then they lost that game, only winning 1 T round in the rest of it. And that could have been their chance to close. Imagine, they win map 1, they're up 12-3, you blow that second half. How do they come into Mirage, that third decider? Complete and total clean slate, total tabula rasa, and they just wrecked off of Cadian. So they can reset, and they will absolutely have to do that again today, because there's no way Heroic are going to win this. I think it's just maybe they can give us a more respectful scoreline, but the margin of error is so slim. And if it was that, big performance from ZywOo or 30 frags on RPK, I could see a way where this T side avoids him and starts, working their way into the underbelly of Vitality. This is a completely armored shell. This French lineup, they can't crack it. It's like a very tough escargot.
No, 100%. And here's the other thing as well. You mentioned it's not a ZywOo 30 bomb. ZywOo picked up 5 of his 14 kills in the first pistol. He's not been required. RPK with the flashbang and company goes in with 1 and a second. There's so many good flashes being tossed in. Some of them are hampering the T's, though. Actually tossed in from their players. Now Tessis with a Glock gets 2 and tries to transfer across for the third. But Vitality, after taking the first 2 kills, now going to be a player behind. Heroic have a chance.
Yes, they do. They've got that little man advantage. TSS even on the USP here, so I'm less inclined to think that the Glocks will let them down. Another CT pistol picked up here for Cadian, but it's the cross that's in question. Ooh. Okay. Hello, Casper. He gets the 1-tap into the head of Apex. He's going to plant that bomb on top of the box. That's just insult to injury. Team Vitality, not perfect. We found that out when they didn't get the 15-0, but Cadian just claps back a second in that final headshot as well. USPS headshots, man. I don't think there's anything more satisfying.
Super crisp, aren't they? Especially in rounds of this importance. And sure, Heroic still have a mountainous climb ahead of them. It's going to have to be Herculean effort, but at least they put the first tick in the box and their road to come back. Now they just have to make sure they convert and don't slip and slide away. They've got 2 scouts and some deagles to play up against. RPK gets a late MP9. Cadian on the cross does tag Apex, who is thinking about re-peeking, or at least it's ZywOo that's thinking of re-peeking, and then decides to actually turn tail and go back again. He gets tagged through the doors. That's a lot of damage from Cadian in the middle already.
Quick readjustment. Not wasting any time to stack up on that A site. It's the right call. Now, if these scouts still had 100 health, I'd be a little more inclined. But a couple of bullets from those AKs, and this stack unravels. Regardless, Nico still takes that first one. And look at the way Heroic just kind of stutter step for a moment. That's like the deer in the headlights type moment. Like, oh my God, ZywOo's on the bomb site. They've got a scout. They've got something to hold us back, but they inch their way closer and closer until they manage to get to the cross, and the 2 smokes should cover. Do they fall victim to this stack? The CT's pushed through. Oh my goodness, Cadian. He's trying to find damage over top of the smoke, but it's Masuda with a 3-piece. And just like that, one player stops the play. 45 seconds, and the other 2 Ts still have to move up.
The bomb in a horrific position as well, so they're going to have to retrieve this and pull back. That smoke does give them a wall to try and get back towards the B site. They're still worried, still apprehensive about a potential flank. And in doing so, Cadian's missed the shot that could have been so vital on the side of Heroic. Now up against it. 25 seconds at their disposal. They're going to be coming back in again. Masuda shows his hand for a second time, and it's more of the same. It's going to be an ace. What a play from Vitality and Masuda. And Heroic have taken one giant step towards a loss.
Yeah, that one sucks. They win their pistol. They're feeling all good and whatnot. And then, oh, the liver punch from Vitality. Now we've got Heroic curled up on the ground. They're trying to just crawl. Trying to crawl into this next one with what they can. But it's armor and upgraded pistols all across the board. 3 Tech 9s, double smoke, double flash, good B spawn. You know, if that's what it's going to take, a desperate just B hit and a full commit, then best of luck. Shox, he is right on the other side, and that MP9 just tears through too. Then he swaps to the Deagle. There's the 4K from Shox. This could be the 3rd member of Vitality with an ace in this map, but instead it is Apex to shut it all down. And Heroic, it's not like they've got that round loss bonus. It's not like they've got saved economy. They've got to do the same thing as the last round yet again in this. They decide not to rush with Tech 9s, but maybe hold back with Eagles. However, Vince, it is just as desperate.
It really is. I'm trying to be optimistic here, Scrawny, and look at a way that maybe Heroic can battle against all the odds. But the fact is, they have been well and truly manhandled this entire game. From start to finish, RPK gets caught with a grenade out, so that's maybe a way back into this round. Going to be trading the scout for the M4. ZywOo in an awkward position, can only fend off against one assailant. Has done damage to Tessis. And Storm also feeling worse for wear. But at least Heroic do have the man advantage. They still have to press the site, though. They still have to deal with a in-4 Masuta, Shox, and Apex. And Masuta now in the same position. Is going to be given that same nightmare, perhaps. But no, the flashbang doesn't connect, and Burp gets 2. So hold the phone for a second. Heroic going to keep themselves alive a little bit longer.
Nice. Borup with a good showing here. He is that top fragger for the side of Heroic. 11 kills. So they've broken through the double digits. Not so much in the round count, but at least in Borup's kills. And Shox, look at the HP. Heroic. You know, if they really truly want to make it, if we're going to grasp for the narrative of a comeback, they need to keep the money. They need that huge overhead win. And with the 3 rifles already, you do not want Shox running out here at the last second and just tippity-tapping his way with a mobile MP9. This thing's going to run and gun and try to spray them all down. But they're just sitting inside of the pit trying to stay comfortable here. It is Borup watching, and he's got 46 health. There's 1.
Oh, he's going down.
And there's 2 and 3 and almost a 4th. But he just body bags them all.
Bruh. Oh, Heroic. Even when they win, it feels like they lose, Scrawny.
Yeah.
You've got to keep more players alive.
They're only winning to lose more. This is really what it feels like. It's just like, oh, you won the pistol, and you lose the force buy. Oh, you saved 4 guns. Oh, no, never mind. There's always this second side to it, and this could be the final hurdle. They're going to get damaged by that grenade. Shox, he's hiding on the car. He's trying to start this round the way he finished the last, but he can't manage more than just the single kill. It's a legit man advantage here for Heroic, and a bomb plant on top of it.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a hell of a take. I really thought that Shox had that one dead to rights with his partner of Masuta here on the side, but not the case, and Vitality have to go back and save. They did manage to accrue a little bit of money, but as a result of losing the previous 2, they now have to turn tail and tap out. So Heroic at least posting up some more rounds, going to try and make this map respectable. I mean, for me, that's the goalpost right now. Make it respectable, and then make Vitality sweat a little bit, and then maybe the comeback can be like a distant goalpost 5-10 rounds down the line. But right now it's not looking particularly good for Heroic. Even though they have been successful, can they feasibly go back to these B hits time and time again before Vitality finally make a read and guess correctly?
Before we see Heroic continue with this, the CTs will of course rebuy with what they can. This has actually been a very human experience with ZywOo. He has 1/3 of his kills in the very first round of this game. For the other 19, that's just 10 kills across it. So it's nice to know that, well, he's not some sort of fragging cyborg, but just a mere mortal like the rest of us. Kind of like he sent a message to his teammates, go kill. He got all 5 in that first. But here we go. Tech 9s to the bottom of tunnels. Very quick. Incredibly quick into the face of Shox. Cadian, he had his Tech 9 out despite swinging the op. And Tessis, he has 4 HP as he disengages from middle. And thank goodness he did, because Vince, that follow-up frag would have blown him to smithereens.
Oh yeah, I think he still probably has a bit of shrapnel in his calves and his hip right now, but still somehow alive with the 4 HP. They're going to be walking into the tank, into the wall. The one-man wrecking crew that is RPK, and he's already put 1 player down. This is where things start to look pretty grim, and that low HP catches up with Tessis. He burns alive. Storm and Nico going to be trying to do what they can, but they're just pushing down middle, and it's looking like this may be the final curtain coming down.
Yeah, looks like this is the final adieu. Apex, he's ready, and they just don't even check it. Falling victim to the players behind the doors. Twice in this round, we have seen it. Heroic, they try to find a little bit of map control, but it's those darkest corners the Vitality hide within. And Stown, he's just turned his back to RPK. This is definitely going to be the final frag of the map. Stown not even able to get through the doorway. 16 rounds to 5. A masterclass from Vitality. I mean, just ridiculous. 10 rounds straight in a row. We had an ace and a 1vx clutch in the very first from Zywoo, and we just had a feeling, man. You just knew what Vitality was going to show up to play, and they absolutely performed here. Shox actually ends the match at 22-9.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. Zywoo looked a bit human in that game, but even though he wasn't fragging out really hard, he ends it with 8 assists, which is far more than anyone else on his team, actually double anyone on the server, and 93 ADR. So even though he wasn't getting the kills, he was softening up players. He got a lot of tags with the scout and the AWP through double doors, and his teammates were finishing it off. But that's such a good collective effort from Vitality. And again, sure, mental tenacity and the ability to turn things around and reset's always there for Heroic, but will Vitality allow them that luxury?
Yeah, I think that's it. Is like, regardless of the mental state of Heroic after that one, even knowing that with yesterday in mind, like, it's, you know, you don't have to delve back too far to remind yourself that comebacks happen and resets are possible. But I don't think Vitality are going to let off that gas pedal. This van is stampeding forward right now. And Zywoo, who knew, the best player of 2019 could also be a support. It's a beautiful thing to see when Vitality shine this bright. Come back after the break to see if they do the same thing on the map choice of Heroic. It is Mirage up next.